Hey, I'm here with Rick Salmon, prolific author, photographer, trainer extraordinaire. Rick's been kind enough to come in and chat with us about some of the things he has going on. So welcome, Rick.
Well, it's great to be back. You know, I love you guys. I get such a warm welcome when I come here, like all the Photoshop
Well,
instructors.
that's cool. And that's, as you know, anytime someone comes into town, they can't just do one thing. We make them do like 17 different interviews and training sessions and
Really?
everything else.
I'm going to move here then. How's that? I'll move
Perfect.
here for 3 months out of the year. It's
Excellent.
32 degrees in New York. It's 80 degrees
There you
here.
go.
It's great.
Hey, I'm all about that. We'll have stand-in hosts for some of our shows.
Cool.
So, Rick, tell us a little bit about what you've been up to recently. You've been doing workshops, you've been writing books, all kinds of stuff.
Well, I like to be busy. As most people know, I am like a little bit hyper. He's laughing because he knows it's true. I was is it down or over in South Beach from here?
Probably both.
Both, down and over. Anyway, I was teaching an HDR workshop, high definition, high dynamic range workshop. But I also call it, high do-it-yourself rocking images, because you can really create some rocking images. I also call it high depth range images, because with HDR photography, you can really create an extra an extra feeling of depth and dimension in your picture. So I was in South Beach with the Art Deco buildings inside and outside, morning, noon, and night. We were shooting. I had some really good friends there. And
cool.
I mean, I just love HDR.
Now, was that one of your first HDR workshops, or have you done others?
That's going to be my last. No, it was a lot of fun. It was my second or third HDR. I have an HDR book coming out in May, I think it's coming out. So I just got the final pictures for this book. But HDR photography, for those who are not into it, people say, "Oh, I don't like HDR." Well, listen, Ansel Adams, he was the original HDR photographer, and the Renaissance painters were they painted in HDR.
I think the thing that occurs to me with HDR is, to me, it's both a solution to a problem. I mean, there's some images you can't capture with one exposure, but then it also gives opportunities to take something that you see and just enhance it in ways that you might want.
Well, absolutely. What I do is I shoot everything with the Photomatics in mind. I process it in Photomatics, and then usually I add a touch of Topaz Adjust to bring out that artistic. So, we basically have two choices at the extremes. We have the realistic, and we have the artistic, and then we have everything in between. And it's just so much fun. I mean, I'm just having a blast doing HDR.
Now, you mentioned a new HDR book. What book number is that for you, like 804 or something like that?
I think it's something like that. There's a joke about Sigmund Freud. Someone says to Sigmund Freud, "Dr. Freud, how do you listen to these problems? Day in, day out, week after week, month after month, year after year. How do you listen?" He goes, "Who listens?" So it's the same with my book. Who reads them? I don't know. I think it's about 34. I think it's about 34. But you know what? Just like you guys and everyone here, you guys love sharing. You love teaching, and I really love sharing. I love teaching, and that's how we learn. I learned a few things on this last workshop. We had a student, Julie Johnson. She's shooting up, shooting down, and I'm there saying, "Okay, shoot it this way." Then the students say, "Hey, let's do this. Let's use this different lens." So I think teaching a workshop is a great way
Oh, it
to
really is.
learn.
I was at a workshop yesterday, and the three people teaching had exactly the same experience. Even though they were very experienced wedding photographers, they were picking up little ideas from each other and the students.
So there's so much to learn, right?
Right.
There's no one right way to do things.
Exactly. Now, the other thing is that we want to talk about today is that you've gone into a whole new area, which is you have your own app now.
And I have a present for you right
look at
here.
that.
It looks like an iPhone, but it's
Wow.
actually my business card. It's called Rick Salmon's
Very
24/7 Photo Buffet. And it's not an app that does something like, I have my regular camera here, take a picture of the iPhone, I take a picture. But this app, you don't take a picture with it. What it is, it's the best of my books, some of which I've read, the best of my books, my DVDs, my online training, my seminars, my workshops, my speeches, my lectures. I think that's about it. So it's really like an ebook. So there's a section for making pictures, taking pictures. There's videos on there. There's text articles. There's a little button so you could see before and after, like when I'm demonstrating aperture, for example. You press the button for wide aperture, then you press the button for a small aperture. It's a great way to learn, and it's been out 15 days today, getting rave reviews on the Apple Store. So it's
Cool.
It was a lot of work, though.
If our viewers want to find out more about that or your other stuff, where do they go to do that?
Just ricksalmon.com. That's how you find me. And it's two M's, Sammon.
Very cool. Well, Rick, as always, it's a pleasure to have you here. And oh, okay.
I gotta take one shot of this handsome guy here. My number one tip: beware the background. Name of the game, Field of Frame, is another one. But I'm watching the background here. Let me see. How'd I do, Dave?
It's a keeper.
Okay.
Thanks again, Rick. We appreciate it.
Okay.